Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Today I am going to talk about what are the most misleading houses in the horoscope and how sometimes we are misled by not understanding the manifestation and the dissemination and the attributes of the house very well. We don't configure the houses well, we don't understand them well, and by virtue of not understanding them we are misled and we are taken on a different route, we are taken on a different path from what they mean, and hence sometimes they also become the source of the biggest challenges for us because of us not having understood them well, not understanding their effects very well, not understanding the results that they will bring in to us very well, and hence being not able to handle the energies very well. So let's jump into what is the most misleading house in the horoscope. Firstly, let's start with the Dusthanas itself, the most misunderstood and hence most misleading houses in the horoscope. They are misleading not because their virtue is to mislead, but they are misleading because of being misunderstood. And hence, whenever you are looking into the horoscope, always pay special attention to the meaning of the Dusthanas, the 6th, 8th and the 12th houses, because all the three have a very special meaning from a spiritual perspective, from a moksha perspective. 6th house is the Bhrigu Bhav, it is also the house of service, it is also the house of sickness, competition and loss of relationships, and hence it's a very important one. 8th and the 12th are the very important moksha bhavas and also seen as the most challenge bringing bhavas, and hence spiritual dimensions of these Dusthanas are important and they should be understood without being misled by this. So generally what happens, we are fearful of the Dusthanas, the 6th, 8th and the 12th houses, and we are misled by how we understand them. How well to understand the Dusthanas is by checking which house lords are getting connected to the Dusthanas. One misconception which I have seen in people is that whenever the important house lords go into the Dusthanas, we get fearful and then they become misleading for us. For example, if the 10th lord goes into the Dusthanas, 6th, 8th or the 12th houses, then we feel that our career is going through issues, challenges, upheavals, losses. It is not completely untrue that those challenges may come to you. However, they come to you because you are not doing anything about it by not understanding them well. So, for example, if the 10th lord is getting connected to the 6th house, 8th or 12th by going there, it means that your career, your work ethics, your activity may be connected to those houses. And so, you need to check how your career is connected to those houses rather than thinking that my career is going into obstacles and upheavals because the 10th lord is going into the 8th house. Actually, it is a boon in disguise for you. Why is the boon in disguise? Firstly, the 10th house is not the house of career alone. The 6th house also plays an important part in your career. Remember that the trine houses are connected. The 1st, 5th and the 9th house have the same energies. They are dharma bhavas, and they may either have a fire energy or the earth energy or the water energy or maybe the air energy. So either it's earth energy, fire energy, water or air energy. So you need to deep down and look at whether what energies they are, and those trine houses, the dharma bhavas, 1st, 5 and 9, and so they have the similar energies. And similarly, the 2nd house, the 6th house and the 10th house are the artha bhavas, are the money bhavas, the money houses. So they are connected to money, and hence many times people feel that the 10th house is the house of career and money. The 10th house is connected to money because it is an artha bhava. It is also connected to your career because it has a trine relationship between the 2nd, 6th and the 10th house. However, the 2nd house is also Maragasthana and the 6th house is also a Dusthana. So when the 10th house is connected to a Marakasthana, which is the 2nd house, and the 6th house, which is the Dusthana, And if you don't understand the connection very well of say the 10th house lord going into the 6th house, then you may take it as my career is going through upheavals. But actually it could be that your career, your money, your source of income is getting connected to service, is getting connected to competition, it is getting connected to law, to authorities. So find out and check what the overall meaning is. What is the planetary energy, what is the house energy, what is the sign energy, and so your career can be found out through that. The other thing is that whenever you have 10th lord going into the dusthanas, and if you're not doing anything about it, then the upheavals get activated. It is like a game of baseball or cricket. When somebody throws the ball at you, you hit the ball. If you stand there without raising your bat, then the ball can hit you, can hit the body, or you can get out. So the 10th lord going into the dusthanas means do more activity about the dusthanas. It's a special position for you. It is a misleading position because we don't read it very well. The meaning, actual meaning is your activity, your income, your career can be connected to service, helping others in upheavals, issues, challenges, but also taxes, insurance, audits, accounts, all those meanings from the 8th house, foreign lands, to manufacturing, to surgery, to medicine. So many meanings are there. And the other thing is that it is also a good opportunity for you to get your karma, to work on your karma and to improve the positive karma in your life, the prarabdha karma in your life, and it's a good opportunity to you where your 10th house is getting connected to the dusthanas. So rather than being fearful, you need to be able to understand how can I use it better, because there is a spiritual dimension to my work and it is an opportunity given to you, which means by helping others, whatever line you are in, you should also approach that work with a more spiritual bent of mind of helping people, not just earning. If you have that bent of mind that I want to help people, I want to reach out to people, I want to support people, I want to take care of people, then you will automatically find that the challenging dissemination of the dusthanas get reduced to a large extent, whether the 10th lord is in the 6th house or 8th or the 12th houses. So don't fear the dusthanas, understand the manifestations very well and use it. If you find that you are going through a lot of upheavals in your life generally, then sometimes we feel, why me? And what do we do is that when we reach out to the astrologer or for an astrological reading, we again ask materialistic questions. We don't delve deeper and ask, why am I going through this? What is the spiritual meaning of this? How can I come out of it, or how can I utilize this? We go back to the astrologer for a reading and ask, how can I make more money, or I'm going through money issues, I'm not getting a job, my health is going through upheavals, I have a problem with my relationships, how do I correct them? Rather than why am I going through this and how do I utilize the disseminations well? Because those upheavals are also opportunities for you to be able to use that to improve your karma and to let go of the karmic debt that you are carrying, the negative karmic energy that you are carrying. And hence it is like this: if you are going through, if you have some poison in your body, then the doctor will try to take it out. If your boils developed in your body, then there may be many cuts that the doctor needs to do to take out all the toxins and all the pus and all. So on one side of it, you may be looking at it as I've got 10 big wounds that the doctor has opened up, but you may not observe all the toxins that you're allowing to go out of your body. So sometimes the strong connection between the dusthanas and important houses means that it is an opportunity, a spiritual opportunity for you also to rise spiritually by letting go of the toxins. So understand the dusthanas very well. They become very misleading. Then the other house which could be a very misleading house is the 10th house lord placement itself. Wherever the 10th lord goes into, don't see your career connected only through that or only career connected to that. There could be many other disseminations where 10th lord is going. 10th lord going into a house connects you or career or your work sphere to that, but it could also mean that there are other manifestations of the particular house. For example, the 10th lord going into the 3rd house doesn't only mean career in marketing or communication or short journeys or in presentations or connected to tours, tourism. There are many manifestations, but it could also mean that without effort, because the third house is also the house of effort, without effort and without self-enterprise, you may not get the success. Third house is also the house of self-enterprise, to do something on your own, start something on your own. So sometimes when the 10th Lord goes into the third house, it is also an opportunity. So you need to delve deep dive to understand the meaning and the manifestation of the placement, and not only career, because the 10th Lord is going into the third house. 10th Lord going into the 5th house will not only connect your career to insurance or accounts or finance or public performances or speculative investments or in property or in an industry which goes through ups and downs or stocks and shares. It also means that there could be challenges and upheavals in your career from time to time, and there may be changes which if you are able to fathom well because of the transits and the dashas, then you may be able to make a right move. Sometimes more change is there in your career. When you don't make the change, the zodiac makes that change for you and makes you go through the upheaval. Sometimes the dasha changes and brings in a different dimension to your work. The same work dimension doesn't remain in all our lives. Sometimes it changes a bit. Sometimes you may be a lawyer, and then later on you may become a judge. Sometimes you may be in a police force, but you may quit and you may start your own security agency. You may be a practicing doctor, but you may go on to start our own hospital and become more of a manager rather than a practicing doctor. So there are various things that people go through, and they also make changes. They also bring in those changes, mostly for the better. So those upheavals are also part of your life. If, for example, the 10th Lord goes into the 5th house, then the ups and downs changes the way of life. So if you don't bring in the change, basis the transit and the dasha, then the zodiac will bring the change for you, sometime which you don't like. And so being prepared, understanding the placements of the 10th house Lord is important. The third most misleading house, or how we are misled, is the empty house, which is opposite to the house which has more planets in it. For example, if we have an empty lagna, but if there are more planets in the 7th house, then it is misleading to think that because the lagna is empty, there are not much effects on the lagna. Whichever house is empty but has a house opposite to it, 7 to it, with more than 2 planets, say 3 or more, then that house is also strongly activated because of continuously being under the aspect of 3 or more planets. And so that empty house with the opposite house having more planets becomes a misleading house for you. For example, if you have a very strong 5th house with a lot of planets in the 5th house and an empty 11th house, then you need to understand and manifest the 11th house very well, because all the planets in the 5th house are aspecting the 11th house. And so in the dasha and the antardasha of the planets placed in the 5th house, the 11th house will also be activated. Whenever there is a transit of any planet over the 11th house, the 5th house planets will also come in the picture, and that house becomes very, very misleading, which is opposite to a house with more planets, and yet you are not delving deep and not able to understand. For example, if there are more malefics in the 5th house aspecting the 11th house, then 11th house is an upachaya house, and malefics do better in the trine houses than in the kendra houses. Then you need to understand what malefics are involved, what signs are involved, and use those better. Why? Because the 11th house is an upachaya house. Over a period of time it gives you results, but it is also the house of aspirations and meeting of desires. So your desires will be fulfilled more by the planets placed in the 5th house during their dasha, the antardasha, during their transits. So if you don't understand the connection very well, if you are looking only at the dasha and antardasha of the 11th Lord alone and where it is placed, then you are misled by the placement. You are not understanding the placement very well. So understand the house which is opposite to the house which has more planets in it, and how the planetary aspects are working on you, working on the house, and what result they will be bringing in, when they will be bringing in the result. If you don't understand the dasha and antardasha very well, then what happens? You will miss out the opportunity. If the dasha is going to bring about a change, and if you are not changing, then you will face challenges, you will face issues, because the dasha is asking for, screaming for a change. but you want the status quo because you're comfortable with the status quo, you're happy in the status quo. And then what happens? After a few years, when the status quo is on, you become frustrated. You feel, I'm not getting a break in my career, I'm not enjoying a promotion, I have not been promoted since 3-4 years. What's happening in my career? Whereas you have done nothing, you're too comfortable in the position, and you thought by virtue of spending more time in the position, by virtue of tenure, the promotion will be given to you, but you have not been a mover and a shaker, and hence that opportunity has come to you, but you have not understood it, you have not utilized it, and you have let it go. And then after the dasha or the transit passes, then you sit up and take notice, and then you realize that your career is not moving, or things are not moving on the relationship front, things are not moving on the health front, things are not happening or moving on the investment front, and so on. So understanding the dasha and the antardasha very well and utilizing it well is important. Otherwise the house or the planet whose dasha or antardasha is on, that becomes the most misleading part for you, because you have not invested enough time, energy to understand the manifestation very well. So spend more time in understanding the house whose lord's dasha is on and the placement of the house lord, so then you can utilize it better. Then understand which trine houses have the most number of planets. For example, check the total number of planets in the first, 9th and 5th houses and see total number of planets in that. Then check the number of planets in the 2, 6 and 10 houses together. How many planets are present in these 3 houses, and add them up. Then check the placement or the total number of planets in the 3rd, 7th and 11th house and add them up, and then total up the planets in the 4th, 8th and 12th houses. And then in a certain trine, wherever the most planets are there, that trine house are most activated, because trine planets or the houses who have the most number of planets as a trine, they will be activated more, they will be giving the results more, they will from time to time throw up results, they will also throw up opportunities, they will also throw up upheavals. If you don't understand them well, if you don't manifest them well, then you will be losing opportunities which are coming to you. So understand which trine houses have most number of planets and utilize them to your advantage, rather than looking at only the 10th house or only the 2nd house or only the 7th house. Most of the time, wherever astrological consultation comes to me, most of the questions are also around materialism, and most of the questions will relate to the 7th house and the 10th house, career and relationships, health and money. Ask questions related to, especially if you are going through issues about spirituality, about your moksha. Also ask questions about if you are going through upheavals regularly, why you are facing this upheavals and what you need to do. And it is not only about the dusthanas. Sometimes the dusthanas may be vacant, empty, they may not even have afflictions in them, they may not have any malefic planets in them, yet sometimes we face issues and challenges. So delve deeper into understand why those issues are coming, which activity you are missing out. And the reason being is that our life has a purpose, and if you are not doing the purpose, if you are not following the purpose, then zodiac has a way to remind us, has a way to do a wake up call, and that it does only by jostling us from our sleep. So if you are facing challenges regularly, for example in your relationship, then deep dive and find out and ask questions about your relationship and why you're facing that, and not just when will I get married. If you're facing challenges in your earning and saving, then deep dive and understand why you're facing that. What could be the karmic debt you are carrying, what is the karmic toxicity you are carrying, what is the karmic equalization actions that you need to do. And same thing about career. So wherever you're facing the maximum challenges, delve deeper into that, understand those very well and ask questions and reach out and know them better, because otherwise they become the most misleading attributes of your life, the most misleading houses of your life. And lastly, the house where more benefits are placed, they sometimes become misleading, because we think that because of benefits being placed in the house, we will automatically get good results. Normally that does happen, that if benefits are placed, especially in the Kendra houses, we do get good results. And if malefics are placed in the trine houses, especially in the 5th and the 9th house, or even the Upachaya houses like the 3rd, 6th, 10th and the 11th house, then do we get better results than when malefics are placed in the Kendras. So by virtue of benefics placed in the Kendras or in a house, especially in a friendly sign, we take it for granted that we will get good results. That is not a wrong approach to benefics. However, that is not the right way to approach the results of benefics. You need to understand what kind of dignity the benefics are, how strong or weak the benefic is, what kind of yoga the benefics are forming, and what kind of doshas it is in, and what kind of negative aspects there may be on the benefic. If there are malefic planetary aspects on the benefic planet, then there will be an issue. If the benefic planet is very weak or in bad dignity, it will be there will be a challenge there. If the benefic is placed in a house where there is very less directional strength and there is a negative aspect on it, then there will be an issue. So that house where benefics are placed and you are misleading that or misunderstanding that become the most misleading house for you in the horoscope. So friend, these are some generic placements where you could be misled by either the Dusthanas, or where the 10th lord is placed by not reading your career very well, or not reading the 2nd house, or where the 2nd lord is placed by reading the source of income very well, or misleading or misunderstanding the houses where more benefics are being are placed by misleading or misunderstanding the placement of the benefic. Then you may be misunderstanding or misreading the house which is empty but most planets are present in the 7th to it. And lastly, you may misunderstanding or being misled by not getting or not understanding the dasha, antardasha planets well, and not understanding the manifestation very well. So deep dive into your horoscope, understand if some house is misleading to you, or you are being misunderstood, or you are misunderstanding the house or the placement in it or aspects on it, or where the house lord is placed, or misunderstanding a yoga or a dosha, or misunderstanding the dasha or antardasha, and only through a deep and proper analysis manifest the dasha, the antardasha period very well, because it could be an opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity could be a make or break opportunity, and we, by being misled by the house or misreading the house, we let go of the opportunity, and then later on we cry over split milk. So friends, look into your horoscope and deep dive and understand them well, and use the placements well. And if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan, signing off. Ciao.